U.S. Intelligence 2025 news begins right now.
Now, the news with Steve McMurray and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this Wednesday morning. I'm Steve McMurray, and for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
We've got a lot to get to this morning, but we want to get right to a check of that Storm Tracker 2 forecast. And a little bit chilly this morning, and I think that's going to be the theme if I'm looking correctly.
In the near term, yeah. It's a cool one. In fact, even some snow showers reported across parts of the area. Look at the Mesnet camera network this morning. We can see where some of that snow is falling. Now, it's not widespread, of course. It's primarily focused in the North Country, Osceola, Old Forge. Looks to be the spots where that is currently taking place. And you can see it right here on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. As you look at the overall trend showing that snow, lake effect snow in areas to the north. Zooming out, this will not be an isolated event to the north throughout the entire day today. Matter of fact, we have a better shot of seeing what I would call popcorn snow showers, or basically very small pockets of snow mixed in with cloudy skies today. So this won't be a widespread snowfall, but you could encounter a passing one for about 5 to 10 minutes throughout the day today. So temperatures this morning starting out in the 20s and 30s in the next 12 hours. Again, expect some passing pop-up snow showers here and there with high temperatures only in the mid to upper 30s. But this looks to be the coldest day of the next few, warming up slightly heading into the end of the week. Plus, drier weather expected. We'll have a look at what goes on heading into the weekend and a potential ice storm in that full forecast in the minutes ahead. Steve?
All right, look for that. Thanks, Eric. More fallout after sensitive military.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back this morning at sunrise. Time now is 5:13, and heading out early this morning, depending on location, you could either be seeing clear skies or snowfall. In fact, let's take a look at what's going on right now on the traffic cameras right here. You can see across the board, roadways looking okay, but as we look at the traffic tracker, of course, all is green. Radar picking up on some of that lake effect snow up north. So if you're up near Old Forge, Inlet, Eagle Bay, you could be seeing some of that light snow, light to moderate snow as well, taking place right now. And this will be a little bit more on the scattered side throughout the day, as out to our west we're seeing the arrival of that secondary round of snow. So today, if you're heading out this morning, you could encounter that snowfall, but again, most of this is largely unimpactful this morning. This afternoon, pockets of snowfall here and there could produce a dusting of snow on road surfaces. Just a heads up for that, but I don't really think there'll be anything too impactful with the snowfall today. Tonight, a round of snow rolls through. Tomorrow, things looking quiet, but we'll have a look at how the rest of the week shapes up coming up in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. The Young Scholars Program held its...
Know before they go. The Storm Tracker 2 bus stop forecast.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone. On this Wednesday, it starts out quiet for much of the area, primarily in the Mohawk Valley and south, but in the North Country, some light snow showers taking place right now. In fact, a live look at Old Forge on Main Street. You can see some side roads with a light coating of snow on the ground. This has been the case so far recently with the cold weather pretty much sticking around in areas to the north. Temperature, by the way, sitting at a 28-degree balmy start to the day in Old Forge. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Again, we've got that lake effect snow taking place to the north as of this time. But as we zoom out, we can see that this is not going to be isolated to the north for the entire day today. This low pressure moved its way east into our area, and we will see what I call popcorn snow showers, or pockets of snow about a couple of miles wide, passing over our area. So you'll encounter likely on and off snow throughout the day today. But this morning, temperatures begin in the 30s. It's looking to be a cool start, so I would grab that maybe medium coffee this morning. I haven't made mine just yet, but I'm about to. As we head throughout the day today, it only warms up into the mid to upper 30s, so a cooler than average day is expected. But back to that bigger picture, here we are with that low pressure. This moves its way east. Here are those popcorn snow showers. Then things quiet down for Thursday. A round of rain and snow overnight into Friday, but then Friday is looking pretty quiet and slightly warmer than what we've seen over the past couple of days. But before we zoom into that skycast, I do want to show you guys the potential this weekend. We've got this stationary front setting up over parts of the Northeast. The exact position is still uncertain, but we know that stationary front's going to form, and along that front, there could be potential ice storm qualities inside this setup here. And we've got two different outcomes here. One pushes it into the North Country, other one pushes it north of our area. We'll keep a close eye on it, but again, just an early heads up for those of you up north that will be monitoring this ice potential. But to our skycast today, here we are, those on and off snow showers passing through our area. Tonight, things will quiet down after a brief round of snow. Then tomorrow, looking quiet. Temperatures in the 30s, eventually low 40s by the evening hours. Then a round of rain and snow overnight, followed by another dry day for your Friday. And so your 7-day forecast, because of that stationary front, the forecast for the weekend is very difficult when it comes to temperatures. North of that front, it's in the 30s, below that front in the 50s and 60s. So quite the difference we're looking at right there. But overall, it appears to be not a major warm-up, though, so I do think that we'll be still sticking in the average category for temperatures in the near term.
Yeah, we've got a while before we get in that study. So, all right, thanks a lot, Eric. Well, it's Diabetes Alert Day. Health officials
Know before they go. The Storm Tracker 2 bus stop forecast.
Where the news comes first. Your
2025, and the news rolls along right now.
Now, the news with Steve McMurray and meteorologist Eric Gage.
And good morning. Thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Steve McMurray in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
So we're going to start this half hour with a check of that Storm Tracker 2 forecast. And, we've been talking about this is actually the norm for spring.
Yeah.
Maybe a little cool, but this is the norm. So we're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, it was a tease last week and a reminder that, late March, early April, this is typically what we see here. Now, to be fair, the winds have been pretty strong. We've been seeing some nuisance snow, and matter of fact, we are seeing some nuisance snow early today. Let's take a look at the current conditions out there on the Mesnet camera network, and you can see some locations to the north, Redfield, Osceola, Old Forge, appearing to report some snow falling at this time, and you can see it evident here on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. The exception, though, is that following this morning, the snow will not be isolated to the north. We zoom out, we have some spotty snow showers eventually rolling through our area throughout the day today, and these will be about a mile or so wide in width, and we'll see clouds mixed in with sunshine and passing snow throughout the day today. So the temperatures early this morning in the 20s and 30s. We won't be really warming up by much, only in the upper 30s, so slightly cooler than average today, but things do dry out tonight. We are expecting a dry Thursday, maybe some rain and snow overnight tomorrow night, but then another dry Friday. But heading into the weekend, we are monitoring rain and potentially some ice in some locations. We'll have a look at the location and the impact coming up in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. New this morning, it was exactly a
Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Welcome back, everyone, to News Channel 2 at sunrise. As we look ahead to the day today, it appears to be unsettled, snowy, breezy, and cool, but we'll show a bit of a different picture here on our photo of the day. This was taken in Richfield Springs, in the Richfield Springs area by Lazur Photography. So shout out to Richfield Springs this morning. This is the first day of spring with some blue skies. However, of course, the cold air worked in after our final day of winter, and here we are with still winter-like weather. But again, as you mentioned earlier in the show, this is not atypical, just slightly below average for this time of year. But if you have some amazing photos that you would like to share with us, blooming flowers, great scenery, melting snow, you name it, if you think it will brighten someone's day, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics for the chance of your photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise every weekday. Steve?
All right, thanks a lot, Eric. West Virginia has
New
been...
York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Wednesday. Time now is 5:47, and early this morning, some of you up north waking up to some snow showers. A look in Old Forge, a live look early today. We are seeing some side roads that are snow-covered as we speak. Here we are with Main Street looking okay, but again, snow-covered side roads up to the north. This is an isolated scene, though. As we look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, most of central New York is snow-free this morning, but that will change throughout the day today as we zoom out here. I'll see if I can zoom out on the map. I'll do a zoom out here. So let's tap this right in here. Here we go. And as you can see, all this snow, or at least spotty snow showers, are rolling their way east. So this isn't going to be widespread, but still, this is enough to produce a few minutes of snow here and there throughout the day today. So here's that low pressure moving its way east. That'll impact us throughout the day today. But when it comes to temperature, we're not really warming up by much, only into the mid to upper 30s this afternoon. So maybe grab that medium, maybe large coffee. Keep yourself warm today, as it is a cold start and going to be pretty much a cold afternoon and cold evening. And this is all driven by this supply of Canadian air from the northwest and some scattered snow showers and pretty strong winds. This ends, and tomorrow looks dry besides a passing rain and snow shower. Then Friday, also looking dry. But we're monitoring this front right here because as we head into the weekend, this will move its way north and remain somewhat stationary to the northern part of New York, almost near the Canadian border. And there's some uncertainty as to exactly where it sets up. Notice one model here has it impacting the North Country. Another model here has it to the north. Why is that important? Well, this could produce some significant icing if this remains stationary over the North Country. Now, again, it's a few days out. This could still move north or south, but we want to give you guys an early heads up, especially those of you who live up north, of the potential for ice heading into the weekend, especially Saturday through Sunday. We'll keep you posted on how this does shape up, though. So, to our Skycast today, pockets of snow showers mixed in with clouds throughout the day, highs only in the mid to upper 30s. Passing snow this evening and late tonight, quieting down by tomorrow afternoon with plenty of sunshine by the evening. Then tomorrow night, a brief round of rain and snow, then sunshine moves in as we head into Friday, but we'll see a few more clouds rolling later on in the day. Your 7-day forecast. Again, it's a pretty busy weather pattern the next several days. Overall, looking pretty average as well temperature-wise. So still as of now, no major warm-up or cool-down. We're just slowly riding our way into April and eventually, hopefully, some spring-like temperatures.
Well, you know, and again, we've had snow very late March, very late April, even May. So we've got to, you know, it's all perspective.
Yeah.
Well, the Utica University Men's Hockey 5 and the news begins right now.
Now, the news with Steve McMurray and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Steve McMurray, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Hey, I just want to fill folks in. You've seen Gary do the Anchor the Noon. A couple days this week, couple days last week, still recovering from surgery. So he's gradually working his way back in, but he is planning to be here in this seat Monday morning, getting back to his routine. It'll be good to have Gary back. But you got me for a couple more days at least. And Eric's always here. Except tomorrow. Except tomorrow. James is tomorrow.
Yeah, except tomorrow. But
A lot to get to this morning, though, right now, and we'll start with that forecast. You know, real quick, some frost on the windshields this morning if you didn't have your car running for a brief time last night, so be careful with that.
Yeah, frost this morning, and then locations to the north experiencing some snow as well. So still a little bit of a busy morning today. A look at the current conditions out there right now. We've got that snow up to the north. You can see it picked up by the Mesnet camera network here. Redfield, Osceola, Old Forge picking up on those snow showers. To the south, it is snow-free, and that is indicated by the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar here. However, to our west is where things will change. This snow will not be isolated to the north for the entire day today. We'll see pockets of snow, light to moderate snowfall rates here and there as the system passes over us throughout the day today. But a look at the current temperatures this morning. It's 30 in Rome, where the skies have cleared to the south, and Hamilton temperature 25. That's where the frost has formed. But today, it's a cool one. Highs in the 30s. It's going to be a quieter stretch tomorrow and Friday, but we are tracking the potential for ice this weekend. Even a warm-up as well. We'll explain the difference and why that is in that full forecast. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. More fallout after...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Time now is 6:11, and as you head out the door this morning, well, things look quiet for most of us in the Mohawk Valley and south with some snow showers to the north, but here's a look at the Pratt Munson Commutecast. First off, a look at some area roadways, mainly clear. Any snow that's falling really isn't impacting at least main roads. Up to the north, however, side roads have a light dusting on the surface. Traffic tracker, much of the area looking green, should have no true impacts aside from, as Steve mentioned this morning, potentially budging a minute or so to warm up your car, scrape the frost off. But besides that, impacts looking non-existent early today. Now, the radar showing that snow to our north, it's actually passing through Boonville as we speak. However, to the south and to the west is where our next round of scattered snow showers roll through. So today, you could experience a passing shower this morning. Impacts really not too high. This afternoon, light to moderate pockets of snow here and there. And it could produce a coating of snow, and especially some less traveled higher elevation roadways, but that does end tonight and things quiet down tomorrow. We'll have a look at, of course, what goes on heading into the weekend in that full forecast. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. The Young Scholars Program.
Swell your day. Watch for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast and be ready for your drive to and from work. The Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast is brought to you by the Pratt Munson College of Art and Design. Visit Pratt Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity.
Need car crash help?
Think big. Think Harding Mazzotti.
The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Wednesday. Time now is 6:17, and a live look outside in Old Forge this morning. Those of you up north waking up to some snow showers, even a coating of snow on some roadways you can see there heading off of Main Street, some of those side roads, a light dusting. Temperature up north sitting at 27 degrees, down a degree within the last hour. And a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Some of that snow is winding down in the Old Forge Inlet area, but it's picking up in the Boonville area as we speak. But it's pretty isolated this morning. Aside from those locations, much of the area is relatively snow-free, but that will change throughout the day today as this low pressure moves its way east, and we will start to pick up on some of these spotty snow showers throughout the day today. In the meantime, this morning, it's a cold one. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s, and it's not really going to warm up all too much throughout the day today. So one of those mornings, you grab that medium, maybe large coffee. Keep yourself warm. In fact, I just brewed my coffee moments ago. Morning coffee's all set. Now, the bigger picture, here we are with that low pressure. It's moving its way east, and you can see that cold air driven in by that low pressure. But that does exit to our north. We'll see a brief round of rain and snow tomorrow night into Friday. And then things dry out by Friday afternoon. I do want to focus, though, more on what's going on right here. You're probably wondering, why are we mentioning this? It's way to our south. Maybe it'll pass north. But the issue is it's going to move north and then remain stationary with cold air north of the front. What does that mean for us? Well, in the longer range model guidance we're looking at here, this could produce an icing situation, an ice storm situation. And this appears to be either well to our north or impacting the North Country. And there is still a lot of uncertainty as to the positioning of it. And of course, we'll get a lot more consistent data as the days get closer. But just an early heads up that for those who live up in the North Country, we are monitoring this, and we want to give you as early of a heads up as possible in case this does come into fruition. We want this to happen, which means that stays to our north and impacts are largely outside of our area. But to our Skycast locally today, spotty snow showers after areas of clear skies this morning. Then temperatures in the 30s and 20s tonight, brief round of snow. Things quiet down by tomorrow with clouds, otherwise peaks of sunshine and highs in the 40s. A round of rain arrives Thursday night into Friday, then things dry out again Friday afternoon before we return to an unsettled pattern again into the weekend. And of course, you're going to be monitoring that ice potential in the North Country. For now, it's not a big concern, but the possibility is there. So we want to make sure we relay it as soon as we do learn more. So.
Absolutely. Just keep an eye out for it. All right. Thanks a lot, Eric. Well, it's Diabetes Alert Day. It is Wednesday, March 26th, 2025, and the news begins right now.
Now, the news with Steve McMurray and meteorologist Eric Gage.
And good morning. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday. I'm Steve McMurray.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
We're going to start this half hour with a check of the Storm Tracker 2 forecast and a little bit of frost on the windshields as we were heading in this morning around 4 o'clock. So maybe warm enough now, but just maybe a couple extra seconds to get yourself going.
Yeah, and with that frost this morning, that's really the main impact here locally. Up north, a few snow showers. In fact, a look at the current conditions on the Mesnet camera network. Of course, the sun's starting to rise. Some of these night mode cameras switching to daytime, Brookfield and Springfield, the exceptions. But up north, you see Redfield, Osceola, Old Forge, all reporting some snow as we speak. And it's coming to actually pretty heavy in Redfield. Notice that darker blue in the western portion of Lewis County and eastern portion of Oswego County. As we head throughout the day today, though, that snow is not going to remain isolated to the north. It's going to be scattered across parts of our area, meaning that you could encounter some spotty snow, hit or miss throughout the day today. But at least this morning, we're actually seeing some pretty clear skies in Utica as we speak. Otherwise, a few nuisance clouds in the area, temperatures also hovering right around freezing in the low 30s, upper 20s. Little Falls sitting at 23. Of course, that's where some frost could be forming as well. So what are we expecting today? Again, tracking those snow showers, temperatures in the 30s. However, tomorrow things dry out, warming up a little bit. As we head into the weekend, things turn a little more active. We're tracking even some more mild conditions, but also some ice. We'll explain why there's a possibility for both coming up in that full forecast. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. And don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. New this morning, it was...
The Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The Cooperstown Camera is brought to you by Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Utica.
Happy hump day, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today starting out cool, but mainly quiet, with the exception of snow to the north. But while it's still expected to be cool today, we'll showcase a nice spring photo, our first day of spring, taken by a frequent submitter, Lazor Photography in Richfield Springs. Shout out to Richfield Springs this morning. It was a beautiful scenery outside in the Richfield Springs area right there, and blue skies, which have been pretty lacking over this winter time, but overall has been a welcome sight here and there. And we'll see more of that tomorrow. But again, today, more so clouds and snow showers. But At least for now, if you like to showcase your photography skills, some spring scenery, flowers blooming, or just a nice sunrise or sunset photo in general, you can send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics to the chance to potentially brighten everyone's day by providing us with an amazing photo. And again, thanks to all of you who have been submitting these photos. Steve?
All right, Eric, thanks. West Virginia has become
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, on this Wednesday. Time now 6:46, and we're starting to see that early morning sunrise. Again, it's moving earlier and earlier in the morning as the days get longer. Look at Oneonta right now. The clouds really aren't too persistent down in the city of the hills at this point. You can see the gorgeous shot of that morning twilight out in the distance. It's a cold start, though. Temperature 25 degrees, a frosty start for some locations, both in the southern valleys and in parts of the Mohawk Valley. But in areas to the north, it's a somewhat snowy start. Light snow in Boonville, a passing snow shower already in Old Forge and Inlet earlier this morning. And although the snow is isolated early today, it's going to get a little more scattered this afternoon as this low pressure drags in some of these pop-up snow bands here and there. So today, expect sunshine to turn to a mix of clouds and passing on and off snow showers throughout the day today. Our sky watchers checking in this morning. Mike in New Hartford, 31 degrees. Bob in Clinton with 30. Todd in Westdale in 31 degrees. Bill in Old Forge, 28. Same with Sean in Inlet, sitting at 28 degrees as well. And in the Southern Valley, Stewart in Cooperstown checking in with 24. Scott in Emerson, 21 degrees. Deb in Hartwick, 23. And Gary in Skenevis with 22. So it's a cool morning, enough to potentially grab that medium or large coffee. And it's not really warming up all too much today. Highs in the mid to upper 30s. So keep that coffee handy. I know I just brewed mine about a half hour ago, and finally, no longer feeling tired after this early morning. But the bigger picture here, we've got that low pressure dragging east, scattered snow showers, dry tomorrow, round of rain and snow tomorrow night, and then quiet for Friday. But our focus is on what's going on here. As we head into the weekend, this front lifts to the north, and it will likely remain stationary. And that's what our concern is. So here we are with two separate long-range model data here. And as you can see, there's a little bit of difference. This is New York State, North Country, right here. Now, in one model, it shows mainly rain. Our second looks to be ice. And that's our concern heading into the weekend. There's still some uncertainty as to where this front sets up at. But where it does, there could be some ice accumulation. And we'll, of course, let you know if it does get more or less likely. But just an early heads up for those of you in the North Country that we are tracking that potential heading into Saturday and Sunday. But the near term today, spotty snow showers, temperatures in the 30s. Tonight, brief round of snow quieting down. Quiet for your Thursday with sunshine, a few clouds here and there. Then tomorrow night, we'll see the arrival of some rain and snow before things dry out again on Friday. 7-day forecast. Heading into the 50s by Sunday and Monday, and then back into the 40s again by Tuesday. So our warm spell is 50s. We're not really seeing 60s or 70s, but also we're not seeing teens and zero. So I guess that's a silver lining, as most of that brutal winter cold is over and done with.
glass half full. All right, thanks a lot, Eric. Well, the Utica University men's hockey team will be
Eric Gage joining us. And Eric, we are in the midst of a very cool late March here.
Yeah, and on top of that, we are seeing some snow making its return. Old man winter just doesn't want to leave. And in fact, a look in Old Forge, where there was a pretty decent snow band that passed through about I would say half hour or so ago. A look in downtown Utica, where the snow was falling moments ago. Now it has ended momentarily. And then finally, looking in Oneonta, where the snow is starting to fall. And this is the characteristics of what we call popcorn snow showers. Or, in this case, look at how small some of these cells of snow bands are. They're not widespread. You would see snow start and end here and there. But inside these pockets, moderate to heavy snowfall over the span of a mile or two. inside some of these bands. Again, this will last 5 to 10 minutes, and 5 to 10 minutes, and return again. That's the way the characteristics of these pockets of snow are. And this will be the case for much of the afternoon. On and off snow here and there, heading into the evening. Following that, things do dry out. But again, those temperatures, as Gary mentioned, haven't been warming up. We're in the 30s right now, 32 in Hamilton, 35 in Rome. The warmest temperatures actually down in Poughkeepsie at 47, well outside of central New York. Now, we're tracking when this ends and what looks to be in store for us for Thursday and Friday coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The village of Clayville's water conservation order, which has been in effect for about 3 weeks.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are tracking pockets of moderate to heavy snowfall over parts of our area. Matter of fact, taking a live look in Oneonta, you can see one of those pockets of snow just moving into the city as we speak. A live look over Hartwick College and the SUNY Oneonta campus out in the distance there. Look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. As expected, these snow showers are more scattered compared to this morning, but some of these are a little more on the stronger side. Some of these darker blues indicating potential moderate to heavy snowfall. Now, these are cellular in nature. We sometimes call them popcorn showers, or in this case, popcorn snow showers, with the behavior of these right now. And these will continue for the remainder of the afternoon and in the early evening as this low pressure system moves its way east. You can see here, the end is in sight, though, as we head into tonight and early tomorrow. Matter of fact, the timing of it appears to be during the overnight hours. I'll show that in a second. But you can see here, temperatures today peaking only in the upper to mid-30s if we're lucky. We're about 10 degrees shy of the normal high this time of year, so in a bit of a cool down. But slightly warmer days are ahead by the end of the week. Again, that snowfall on and off here and there through this evening, and then early tonight, a brief round of snow that ends, and then things look dry during the daytime hours for your Thursday, along with even better shots for sunshine by the afternoon and into the evening. So what's happening in the upper atmosphere right now, and just the regular atmosphere in general? Here's that low pressure moving its way east. Things dry out tomorrow, then comes a round of rain and snow that move through overnight into early Friday morning. Then Friday shapes up rather dry. Friday night into Saturday, our next frontal boundary. This is a warm front that moves north. Now, this is something we're keeping a very close eye on because as we head into the weekend, there's potential for that front to turn stationary. And with the cold air at bay up to the north, there could be potential for ice, or at least an ice storm. Now, it's still too soon to lock it in because there's some data indicating that that warm air moves farther north. But the possibility is there, and we'll give you an early heads up for those in the North Country just in case, that we'll keep a close eye on this frontal boundary. You stay with us for the next couple of days as we fine-tune that forecast. So again, today, pockets of moderate to heavy snowfall. This ends tonight, and then by tomorrow, things quiet down with a better shot for sunshine, although temperatures start out on the cool side. Then rain arrives tomorrow night, overnight into early Friday. Friday shapes up rather dry with better shot for sun in the morning, followed by clouds increasing. Then, again, we're keeping a close eye on that weekend forecast, potential ice up north, but at least for now, the concern isn't too high. But at least with the way the season is going, I mean, it's snowing today. Winter just doesn't want to leave.
That's for sure. And tomorrow, some sunshine.
Not too bad.
That's right. Eric, thanks. Well, 1 year ago today, NBC's Aaron McLaughlin reporting. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now. And I actually did see some sun outside of our newsroom window just a little while ago.
Yes, we're seeing peaks of sun mixed in with some snow.
Oh, my.
Yeah, we can't get rid of it just yet, but yes, plenty of sunshine in between some of these cloud and snow bands. A look in Old Forge right now where the snow had fallen moments ago, again with those temperatures sitting in the upper 20s, low 30s, and of course, thank you to the road crews out there. The snow is quickly getting plowed and treated as soon as it arrives. But you can see here, blue skies, up in the distance here, but some clouds, even some snow. In fact, it is currently snowing in Oneonta right now. The radar indicates a lot of these pockets a few miles wide of moderate to heavy snowfall. This is arriving as expected, moving through our area throughout the afternoon and early evening today. So just a heads up on your evening commute or your afternoon commute that you might encounter some of these snow bands. But again, temperatures hovering in the low 30s, really as warm as we get today. But we will be seeing quieter weather heading into the end of the week, but this weekend might be a little different. We'll explain why in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A Boonville man is accused of stalking kids.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. If you don't like what the weather is doing right now, wait 5 minutes. That's the way this is shaping up today. We've got pockets of snow mixed in with sunshine and clouds. Oneonta, which was snowing moments ago, yes, a few flurries, but the sun is peeking out. And that's the case with the behavior of this snow today. These snow pockets are cellular in nature, and you can see what I mean by the very small circles you're seeing here. It's, as expected, producing these cellular pockets of what we call popcorn snow showers over the area, meaning that we'll see a mix of clouds, peaks of sun, and of course a passing snow shower within the span of a few minutes. So this is passing over us as we speak, and inside some of these pockets there could be moderate to heavy snowfall, and this is as expected for the remainder of the afternoon and early evening. So just a heads up for any travel concerns you guys might have. This could impact it depending on location. This is all driven by an area of low pressure which is slingshotting its way out to the east. In the wake of that, we'll see dry weather move in later on, but at least for today, it's cool, it's breezy, with highs only in the mid to upper 30s if we're lucky. So about 10 degrees cooler than average for this time of year. But as we look ahead to the remainder of the day today, on and off snow expected. This will continue into the evening, drying out by tomorrow morning, and then we'll see a return to some rain and snow tomorrow night, ending by Friday morning as well. So we've got this pattern of hit or miss chances for rain and snow. But here we are in the bigger picture. That purple is all that cold air to the north. Canadian air moving into our region. Watch that cold air move away from our area by tomorrow. We'll see a brief round of rain and snow. That arrives overnight tomorrow night. And you can see here, Friday night into Saturday morning, here's the arrival of our next system. And this is something we're keeping a very close eye on because as this front moves north, it'll collide with another air mass and become stationary. And the concern with that is, will this impact us, or at least impact the North Country with potential icing? Now, we've got two varying situations on a couple of long-range models. For now, it's not concrete, but just a heads up that this might happen this weekend, Saturday into Sunday. So those in the North Country, just a heads up that we're monitoring the potential for an ice storm. But we'll continue to monitor where this shifts, if it moves north or south, and we'll let you know. So to our Skycast today, pockets of snow here and there. That does come to an end, and then by tonight, things quiet down. Sunshine moves in throughout much of the day tomorrow, mixed in with a few passing clouds. 7-day forecast. Clouds return again Friday night into Saturday with that rain and snow as well. And we'll closely monitor the weekend when it comes to ice up north. But at least in the short term, today it's hit or miss, snow and sun, but a better shot for sun and no snow tomorrow.
Well, let's get rid of March. I think April's going to be a lot better.
A lot of people are looking for that too, yeah.
Eric, thanks. The National Weather Service has cut more forecast critical weather balloon launches in 8 sites across the country, one of those right here in upstate New York. Now, the reductions are due to staffing shortages brought on by the president's effort to reduce government staffing and expenses. Weather balloon launches occur twice a day and are critical for forecast. NBC's Jerry Steinle has more.
Twice daily launches of weather balloons from Rapid City have been suspended by the National Weather Service. Experts say forecasting weather will be more difficult with the loss of atmospheric sounding information those balloons gathered.
I would say it's probably one of the more important tools we have. So both from, even if you just focus here in Rapid City, Anytime we're worried about thunderstorms in the summertime, so hailstorms, all those, knowing that vertical distribution of what the temperature is doing, what the winds are doing, and what the moisture is doing for that matter, is really important to figure out, are we going to have thunderstorms? If we do, are these going to be kind of nuisance thunderstorms or a big hailstorm? And that's usually kind of the first stop at trying to figure out what's going to happen.
The weather balloons gathered critical information such as temperature, pressure, humidity, and wind speeds, creating a vertical weather profile. That information helped meteorologists predict severe weather and even helped firefighting efforts by gathering accurate wind information. While meteorologists have a variety of high-tech tools such as satellites to gather data, the loss of the weather balloons takes a critical resource away from local forecasters.
The radio sounds or the balloon soundings are one of the few that actually are measuring the atmosphere as it moves through. So the satellites are looking down from space. I like to think of this, they can infer things based on what they're detecting, but they're not directly measuring, say, the temperature there, whereas the weather balloon data are. And so oftentimes the weather balloon data are used in conjunction with these other like satellite data.
Weather balloons are launched daily across the country to create a national weather model. French said the loss of the Rapid City data will leave a gap in the national model.
The model kind of needs to know what's going on to start to then make the forecast. So this is going to have, given that we're losing the sounding here in Rapid City as well as other locations around the Northern Plains, that's going to impact that data field not just here, or that forecast not just here, but generally kind of east of here heading across the country. So it could have a more far-reaching impact.
Officials said staffing shortages led to the decision to suspend the launches.
And meteorologist Eric Gage joining us once again. And Eric, one of those 8 that was cut right here in Albany.
Yes, Albany has suspended their balloon launches. And to give you a perspective, again, it was explained very well in here, but it's vital for producing forecasts when it comes to severe weather. We can't quite see what goes on in the atmosphere above us. We can see satellites, but a lot of the temperature and humidity is all invisible. But the balloon, even though it's simple, does that job very well.
So do we have others in central New York?
Yeah, so there's only one in New York, at least in upstate New York. It's in Buffalo. They'll still continue it, but without Albany, we kind of lose what is going on between Buffalo and here, which will potentially cause more inaccuracies in forecasts when it comes to severe weather as we head in the severe weather season. Hopefully they're allowed to put out more launches during those types of days, but again, this could produce some challenges when it comes to forecasting severe weather.
Yeah, that's for sure. Eric, thanks, and stay with us. More news is up next.
The news with Kristen Copeland and Jason Pallas.
The governor today is requesting a disaster declaration to help local farms recover from this year's extreme weather.
Yeah, every day for a good stretch we were hearing about and then reporting on barns that collapsed under the weight of heavy snow and ice. Some farms lost more than a structure. They lost livestock. It is your top story tonight. The governor is calling for a USDA disaster designation for Oneida, Herkimer, Lewis, Madison, and Oswego counties. Loss between January 6th and February 25th is estimated to be between $15 and $20 million. More than 60 agricultural locations suffered damage. The governor's office says having the declaration will allow farms to apply for low-interest emergency loans through the USDA.
Time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Snow showers everywhere, isn't it?
Snow, and then sun, and then snow.
Yeah.
Very changeable day. Good news is that even when it was coming down, it was generally melting on the roads. So this isn't really something that's causing big traffic issues. And it is coming to an end as we lose the heating of the sun over the next couple of hours. These snow showers will wind down. But yes, if you're caught in this, it could be a little tricky to get around. A big drop in visibility, and again, it is temporarily accumulating before it starts to melt. And just a cold, raw, windy day, temperature of 36. It does get better. The weather is going to get nicer beginning tomorrow. Those snow showers come to an end. Skies clear out tonight, so we actually have another chance to see the northern lights. It's been a very active solar weather pattern, and we do get a chance tonight. I'll let you know when the best time to go out and look would be. Sunshine returns tomorrow, and we do have some warmer weather ahead. Temperatures this evening in the 30s, snow showers end, tracking a bit of a warm-up heading towards the weekend, along with less wind. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Continuing coverage on an animal cruelty case.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. It's been a very changeable weather day. We've been seeing snow showers, sunshine, even whiteouts at times. The good news is that this is not causing issues on the roads for the most part. You'll occasionally get some wet roads and a drop in visibility with these snow showers. And as we head towards sunset, a lot of this is going to fall apart. It's being driven by the heating of the sun. A live look in downtown Utica, you can see the sun is shining, temperature of 36, but again, a lot of clouds in place as well. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. These showers kind of pop up, being driven by the heating of the sun. And again, they're very scattered in nature, and these are gradually going to diminish as we head into this evening. We picked up a very small amount of accumulated snow today, a tenth of an inch, putting us to 103.4 for the city of Utica. We are going to be above average for the season. The average for the season is 95.5 inches, average to date 91.8. So you can see that we can still get accumulating snow this time of the year, but we don't get that much, at least statistically. Did you catch the Northern Lights last night? Well, we did here on Smith Hill. This was the scene at around 10:30 last night. We have another chance tonight. Now, there is a solar storm that's been happening throughout today, and it's expected to linger into tonight. Now, of course, we've got a lot of clouds out there. We have some snow showers, but we think that there should be some breaks in the clouds later tonight. And I want to at least put this out there because last night we were thinking it was cloudy, but we did get a few breaks, and that's all it takes. So again, my advice is to check after sunset when it gets dark enough. It'd be 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then just be very patient and keep checking here throughout the course of tonight. We get less wind. We're going to get a break from the wind. It's been a windy stretch of weather really since the beginning of the year. Breezy conditions tomorrow. Winds will become light on Friday. Breezy conditions Saturday and Sunday. Again, it's chilly out there. Temperatures in the 30s. Westernville, 38 degrees. Hamilton, 34. Oneonta, 30. These snow showers come to an end as low pressure swings to the east. And again, we will see improvements in our weather. Tonight, clouds decrease, especially after midnight. Temperatures will drop into the low 20s. We'll see partly sunny skies tomorrow. A pleasant day. Less wind, warmer. Highs in the low 40s. Clouds will develop as we head into Friday. We'll call it mostly cloudy, and it's dry during the day. The next weather system impacts us on Saturday, bringing us rain. Decreasing clouds tonight, low temperature of 23. Partly sunny skies tomorrow, 46 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. We are tracking a steadier rain on Saturday, 45 degrees. A stalled front will be right across our area. We'll climb into the 50s on Sunday and Monday with rounds of rain. Cooler weather to follow. Sunshine Tuesday. Rain showers return on Wednesday. So getting away from this colder weather one small step at a time.
Well, we're keeping the background, the blooming trees, which is so nice.
Yes.
I see allergies, but it's still nice.
That's true.
Increasing wildfire danger, record high temperatures, excessive rainfall, and flood alerts. Severe weather conditions impacting much of the U.S. from coast to coast today.
Yeah, for the mountains of western North Carolina, the fire threats bring a new wave of worry to towns still building back from Hurricane Helene last year. Laura Aguirre reports.
I'm hoping that it doesn't jump and we get it over there and burns up our property.
Residents of Polk County, North Carolina are keeping a close eye on the wind and a number of wildfires currently under assault by local fire teams. More than 8 million people are under red flag warnings from Georgia north into the D.C. area today. With wind speeds approaching 15 miles an hour and stronger gusts possible, officials gave this warning to residents in the affected areas.
Begin removing any debris litter, any leaf litter, cleaning out your gutters, taking all your firewood away from your home. Just creating a good defensible space.
For some, creating a defensible space simply wasn't possible. Much of western North Carolina is still in the early stages of rebuilding after last year's Hurricane Helene. Matthew Rogers hadn't been to his Flat Rock home since Helene wiped out an access bridge months ago. That bridge recently reopened, but
I said, that's our house, there's our lake.
He watched on social media as flames from Henderson County wildfires completely consumed his cabin before he could return.
Our fireman friend, Phil, called me and said, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry."
From fires to flood watches in the Gulf region, most of southern Texas is under alerts, including Corpus Christi now through Friday. Rainfall could potentially approach 15 inches in some places. And an unusually early heat wave continues to set records out west, increasing the risk of rare and dangerous thunderstorms across the Pacific Northwest that could bring hail and tornadoes throughout the day. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Coming up, mascot madness, red from SUNY Oneonta. All right, time now for a first look at the forecast in this half hour with Bill Cardis.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the entire kindergarten class, General William Floyd Elementary School in Holland Patton. Big group today, a lot of energy in this room. Can you tell that they were excited that they came to talk about weather? They absolutely loved it. They seem to be very excited about tornadoes. It seems to be a crowd favorite just about every time we go. And it was fun to get a chance to see them today. I want to give them a shout out here tonight. I know they're watching along with their parents and probably grandparents too. Temperatures will start to warm up. It was a cold day. By the way, they weren't a fan of snow in March. Temperatures will climb into the mid-40s here over the next couple of days, and we don't expect snow in our future, at least anytime soon. If anything, it's going to start to warm up. We'll be in the 50s as we head into Sunday and Monday. Scattered snow showers out there this evening will be coming to an end. If you're taking the dog out for a walk, it's chilly. Bundle up. We have that wind out there. Temperatures will be in the 30s. Tonight's featured dog is Odie from Utica. This is brought to you by Nissan. We're tracking some rain chances ahead as well. Look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
After nearly a month.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. A very changeable weather day today. We've been seeing snow pellets, also called graupel. They almost look like small hail. And sunshine. We've seen just a variety of weather. This is a live look in Cooperstown. You see the flag waving, you can see some snow falling. Contrast this to downtown Utica, where we've noticed the skies have opened up a little bit. Some breaks of blue, 36 degrees, the current temperature. And yes, we are tracking just a variety of weather this evening. You can see on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, we're getting these splashes of blue showing up south. These are called instability showers. So they're driven by the heating of the sun. Now that we're into late March, the sun angle is higher. The sun's a lot stronger, and it's producing these showers. When we get past sunset, that also means these showers will diminish, and the clouds will also start to dissipate as well as dry air starts to build in from the west. We did pick up a very minor amount of snow today, 1/10 of an inch, putting us to 103.4 inches on the season. We have the chance of seeing the northern lights tonight. We saw them last night with camera only. The camera captures more light in night mode. This was the view from Smith Hill. You don't have to be on Smith Hill to see these. Any view to the north is fine as long as you're away from city lights. And in fact, there are better places than Smith Hill that don't have as many obstacles in the way. We are looking at the chance of seeing these tonight as a solar storm continues. The best chance would be before midnight, and clouds will be around this evening, but they are expected to dissipate as we head into tonight. The winds will also diminish as well. It's been a windy stretch of weather. We get a break from the wind on Friday. Our Skywatchers checking in. Whitesboro, 35 degrees. Forestport, 34. Windy in Cassville today with visibility issues with the snow. Helen checking in with a temperature of 30 degrees. Mohawk, 38. Ilion, 41. Fairfield, Sandy with 33. Worcester with 37. This upper level area of low pressure is going to be moving to the east, and that's going to bring an improvement in the weather. We're expecting decreasing clouds, sunshine, less wind, and this cold air is going to start to pivot to the east as we head into tomorrow. That also means our temperatures will warm up. So tonight, decreasing clouds, temperatures will fall into the mid-20s. Tomorrow, sunshine is expected. Temperatures climb into the low 40s. Skies remain mostly clear early Thursday evening. There's going to be a quick weather front that rolls through and brings us a brief round of rain Thursday night. On Friday, partly sunny skies, temperatures climb into the low to mid 40s. The next weather system arrives Friday night and into Saturday, and that looks to bring widespread rain. Decreasing clouds tonight, low of 23. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, 46 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Saturday, rain, a high of 45. There's going to be a stalled front right over us. So the southern valleys could actually be a lot warmer than the Mohawk Valley on Saturday afternoon. We'll keep you posted with that. The front lifts to the north. Temperatures climb into the mid-50s Sunday and Monday. More rain is expected. Sunshine Tuesday, 42. Next chance of rain on Wednesday, highs in the mid-40s. We'll be right back.
Barns collapse under the weight of heavy snow. The governor is calling for a USDA disaster designation for Oneida, Herkimer, Lewis, Madison, and Oswego counties. Loss between January 6th and February 25th is estimated to be between $15 and $20 million. More than 60 agriculture locations suffered damage. The governor's office says having the declaration will allow farms to apply for low-interest emergency loans through the USDA.
Time now for a first look at the forecast at 6 with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
It's been a very active day of weather. We've been seeing rounds of snow, even some graupel, that would be some snow pellets, and we've also been getting some sunshine. Things are starting to diminish. The snow showers are weakening this evening. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. At times, this is causing a drop in visibility, especially with some of these bands in the southern valleys. A temperature of 35 degrees, cloudy skies. We're expecting the clouds to diminish tonight. The snow comes to an end this evening. We have another chance to see the northern lights tonight, especially early on. There's been a pretty active solar storm that's been happening today. Sunshine returns tomorrow. The weather does improve. Starts to warm up as we look ahead. Snow showers end this evening, temperatures in the 30s. It stays cold out there tonight, but again, some warmer weather is in our future. I'm going to look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
New at 6, around 125 pairs.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A very changeable weather day. We've been seeing rounds of snow along with sunshine, even some snow pellets, also called graupel, mixing in there as well. It's a live look in downtown Utica, and you can see there's some breaks in the overcast, even some sunshine. It's not looking like this everywhere, though. We are still tracking some bursts of snow, especially across the southern valleys. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. This next round is starting to enter into Madison and Chenango County, and again, that could briefly drop visibility. These are more of a nuisance than a big problem traveling-wise. The biggest issue that they're doing is reducing visibility, but because we are above freezing temperature-wise, they're really not sticking. It's mainly causing wet roads. We're going to give a shout-out to the entire kindergarten class. There's about 3 of them here. General William Floyd Elementary School in Holland Patton. I got a chance to talk to them about weather today, and you can see that they were very, very excited to have me, very energetic, and very excited to talk about all kinds of different weather impacting central New York. Speaking of, we have something interesting going on tonight, another chance of seeing the northern lights. We caught them last night in parts of our area, and we're recommending people use a camera in night mode. That seemed to work well yesterday. Visibility is going to be an issue with cloud cover this evening, but I think the clouds start to thin out. The best chance of seeing them would be before midnight. There's a solar storm happening now that could linger into tonight, and at least it gives us a chance to seeing this here early on. Again, good luck. Look to the north, and again, you want a camera in night mode. We have a partial solar eclipse on Saturday morning. Cloud cover could be an issue here, but this would be something to watch as well. You need to use those special solar glasses that you used during last year's eclipse to be able to see this, and it's only a partial solar eclipse, so only part of the moon covering the sun. Breezy conditions over the next couple of days. We do get a break in the wind. A cold afternoon across central New York. Our sky watchers are checking in shivering. Whitesboro 35 degrees, windy in Cassville. Helen checking in with 30 degrees, Barneveld 34, Norway 35 degrees, Skenevis with 33. This weather system causing the snow today is moving to the east, so we do get a chance to dry out tomorrow. Clouds will be decreasing tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the 20s. Sunshine tomorrow, looks like a nice day. Less wind, dry, temperatures in the low 40s. Quick weather system rolls through tomorrow night. Some sprinkles, some flurries. Friday, partly sunny skies. Pretty quiet weather to round out the work week. Things start to change for the weekend. Decreasing clouds tonight, low temperature of 23. Tomorrow, partly sunny, 46 for the high, a pleasant afternoon. 48 on Friday, mostly cloudy skies. Rain returns over the weekend. On Saturday, a stalled front will be right across central New York, 45 degrees. It brings with it rain, and a bump in temperature on Sunday and Monday will be in the 50s with widespread rain. Sunshine Tuesday, 42. Another chance for rain on Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Now for our first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis. Okay, so did we get to see any northern lights tonight?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet.
We have two things going against us, the cloud cover and the fact that it's just not happening. So
doesn't always work.
Striking out, but you can't be mad at the cloud cover. It's not happening yet.
Part of life. And we have had opportunities the last couple of days, so that's been great.
We've been pretty lucky, but yeah, the update tonight, not much to go on. No need to get out there and freeze. It is pretty cold. Temperatures are dropping into the upper 20s, and again, still looking at cloudy skies at Griffiths and Roll. We should see some clearing later on tonight, and the stage is set for some nicer weather tomorrow. Return to some sunshine is expected. What a day today. We had rounds of snow showers, and we continue to track some snow showers tonight. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. This activity is very light, won't last for much longer. Temperatures will be in the 40s over the next couple of days, into the 50s as we head into early next week. A little bit of warm weather ahead. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Temperatures drop into the low 20s. Tracking a chilly start to the day tomorrow, but lots of sunshine is expected. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The governor today taking steps to help local farmers who had their barns collapse under the weight of heavy snow and ice. The governor's calling for a USDA disaster designation for Oneida, Herkimer, Lewis, Madison, and Oswego counties. Loss between January 6th and February 25th is estimated between $15 and $20 million. More than 60 agricultural locations suffered damage. The governor's office saying they have the declaration will allow farms to apply for low-interest emergency loans through the USDA. The Utica Common
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look at downtown Utica. Temperature of 30 degrees. Tracking some cloud cover, some light snow showers. Still kind of lingering around tonight. The weather is going to improve as dry air builds in, as low pressure moves out. We should see some improvements in our weather. Take a look at this scene. This was earlier this morning. Right this dot in the middle of your screen, that's the crescent moon. This picture was taken in the town of Frankfort by Robert Williams. And again, if you're looking for the northern lights tonight, it's not really a great night to do that. We really haven't seen a whole lot of activity, and the clouds are in place. Another thing that we're going to be watching, a partial solar eclipse is expected to happen Saturday morning. Solar eclipse is when the moon is in front of the sun and it casts a small shadow. This is only a partial eclipse, so you're going to need a pair of solar glasses, the ones that you used last year, to be able to see this. Going call here is for cloud cover again. This is going to be happening early Saturday morning. Can't seem to luck out sometimes. Winds will be diminishing. We do get a break from the wind. It's breezy tomorrow. Winds are light on Friday, and breezy conditions expected over the weekend. Scattered lingering snow showers tonight, but not for long. We're starting to see that dry line starting to work in from the west, and skies will eventually clear out. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. Overnight temperatures fall into the upper 20s. Will be below freezing to start out tomorrow morning, but we should see some sunshine, and it looks like a beautiful Thursday. Temperatures climb into the low 40s. There will be a lot less of a wind and a generally pleasant day. Tomorrow night, skies remain partly cloudy. A quick weather system rolls through and brings a few sprinkles. Friday morning, we start out with temperatures in the upper 20s, and we're expecting more cloud cover on Friday compared to tomorrow. Temperatures climb into the mid-40s. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the low 20s, decreasing clouds. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, a pleasant afternoon, a high of 46. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks pretty interesting on Saturday. We have this stalled front in central New York. and that means widespread rain. But there could be a dramatic difference in temperature between the North Country and the Southern Valleys. It could be 30 to 40 degrees different.
What?
So we'll have to keep you posted. Sunday, high temperature of 55. Monday, 55. We dry out here for Tuesday. Yeah, it could be in the 30s in the Adirondacks and into the 60s across the Southern Valleys. At least that's the way things are looking now.
We haven't seen that kind of gradients of temperatures in a while.
It has been a while.
All right.
And we're right in the middle.
We're right in the middle. All right, thank you, Bill. Coming up next, Bless the Cast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Okay, so we didn't have the clear skies tonight to see any kind of northern lights, but we've been pretty lucky lately.
Yeah, and also, too, they just didn't happen. We really haven't had...
Well, that's kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, both the cloud cover and the fact that they just underperformed. So you didn't miss anything. We are expecting skies to clear out this evening, but again, with conditions not really producing anything, I would say stand down. You never really know with these things. Sometimes there's surprises, but again, there's nothing that's been happening tonight that's been noteworthy here. If we do get more chances ahead, we'll pass them along. Partly cloudy skies, a temperature of 28 degrees. So the clouds are starting to thin out. And the rest of tonight, we'll start to see that clearing really accelerate. And it's going to be pretty chilly out there. We are still tracking a few snow showers to the north. And we've been getting some light pillars from people that have been looking to the north, seeing some of that light snow falling from the sky. So we did see something interesting in the sky tonight. Temperatures tomorrow will be in the 40s. We actually have a little bit of a warm-up in store as we look ahead. We'll be in the 50s heading into early next week. And we're going to get a break from the wind over the next couple of days. Skies clear out tonight. Overnight lows drop into the low 20s. Nice day tomorrow. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The governor today is taking snow and ice. The governor calling for a USDA disaster designation for Oneida, Herkimer, Lewis, Madison, and Oswego counties. Loss between January 6th and February 25th, get this, estimated to be between $15 and $20 million. More than 60 agricultural locations suffered damage. The governor's office says having the declaration will allow farms to apply for low-interest emergency loans through the USDA. The Utica...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're getting some very light snow showers that are lingering across central New York, and they're not going to produce much snow accumulation. What we are seeing tonight are light pillars, and that's being caused by the snow. This picture from Melissa, this was in Taberg at about 10:45. And you could see these light pillars. It's light near the ground that's being reflected from the surface into the sky. And this is uncommon for the time of year. Normally these happen on really cold nights, but for whatever reason tonight, based on the quality of the snow, we are getting them. It is a pretty rare find. As far as the northern lights go, well, that's about as much excitement as you're going to get in the night sky tonight, because the northern lights turned out to be a dud, at least so far. Things aren't looking great here in that department. Next time. Looking ahead, the next thing to watch in the sky is going to be a partial solar eclipse on Saturday morning. Conditions aren't looking great here. It looks like it's going to be cloudy, but this is going to be happening just after sunrise Saturday morning. Breezy conditions tomorrow, less wind than today. We're going to get a break from the wind on Friday before some light winds return Saturday and Sunday. Bigger picture shows low pressure moving to the east. We are going to get a chance to dry out. We've got a big area of high pressure working in from the west. That's going to give us at least a break in the weather tomorrow. Decreasing clouds tonight. Overnight lows drop into the 20s. Sunshine tomorrow. Should be a pretty nice day. Less wind and warmer temperatures. We're looking at highs in the low 40s. Tomorrow night, quick weather disturbance rolls through. Passing shower. Not much more than that. Stage is set for another nice day on Friday, although a little bit cloudier. Mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the low to mid 40s. Tonight, decreasing clouds, low of 23. Tomorrow, a pleasant afternoon, partly sunny, less wind, 46 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast, mostly cloudy on Friday, 48. The next weather system on Saturday is an interesting one. It's a stalled front. It produces rain. temperatures could be dramatically different right across our area. The front looks to stall in the Mohawk Valley, high temperature in Utica of 45, but you go to the north, it could be in the mid-30s. You could go south of the Mohawk Valley, it could be in the 60s in southern Otsego County, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. The front lifts to the north. It does warm up Sunday, Monday. We're dealing with widespread rain. Cooler weather on Tuesday. Rain showers return on Wednesday with highs in the mid-40s. We'll be right back.